I am here with the project engineer, and she's going to walk us through a little bit more of the details on the construction elements and the materials that we're using right now. So first of all, we are in one of the suites, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so walk us through what's going on in this room and why this is different than just, some projects that are thrown out and, on the cheap.
Yeah. So right now, as you can see, the room itself is pretty advanced. We have the floor motor already in place. We have the drywall up. Inside the walls, we already have all the electrical, all the plumbing. The walls have an acoustic filling, so that it does have, a little bit more of a noise control between the rooms.
Amazing.
All of the walls are floor to ceiling, so that they're also
so they don't cut off at the ceiling. They go right to the.
They go right up to the slab, so they are not cut off and they're not transmitting sound above the ceiling. All of the electrical is already set in place. Behind the electrical outlet itself, they have a silicone pad that also helps with prevent noise going through.
Wow.
As you can see, we already have all of the AC set in place as well. So it's ready.
And the AC, they're splits or it's central?
No, it's central.
It's central. Amazing. Central is way more expensive, but well worth it if you can afford it to put it in.
Yes.
It's a big difference. It's a game changer.
No, it's high technology, high-end ACs.
How about fire suppression, sprinklers, pipes, all of that?
That's all set. As you can see, we have the sprinklers here. This whole floor already has all the sprinklers. This is the first tower, which is the one that's a little bit more advanced than the second tower. It's going to be finished first, and it already has all of the sprinklers set in place.
I'm building I'm building a property in Panama right now, my residential unit, and doing the fire suppression and the sprinklers is not a cheap process whatsoever. But actually doing it professionally is, well, there's a lot of benefits, obviously, for the health and safety of the family and the guests and everything like that, but also for your insurance can come down on a lot of these prices because you put in the right type of fixtures and materials on the front end that it can actually bring your insurance down. So it can actually be a cost saving to do it properly on the front end, opposed to just trying to cut corners or just buying something off of Walmart for $5 or something and sticking it on the roof.
Definitely. And also separates, Airbnbs, which are conventional housing residential units, from hotel rooms, which actually have everything up to code. This is a seismic resistant building. Everything from fire sprinklers to the electrical, to all of the wiring, to all of the structure is, up to code, up to the seismic code in Colombia. On the sprinkler system, again, as Danielle was saying, we have 3 basements. Below the 3rd basement, we actually have the tank itself with a very high-tech pressure system that brings all of the water up. So as you said, it is costly. It's a little bit more costly on the project, but at the end, you
get a better product, which means the guests have a better experience, which means you get better reviews. And absolutely, imagine having an accident on site and what that would do. This is why I'm really against these type of cowboy operations, which is just thrown together with, string and chewing gum and cardboard, I like to come and watch a construction update and see which materials they're using every step of the way. Because once you paint it, you can't see what's behind there. You have no idea what type of electrical doing, what type of pipes, all of the guts of the building. You need to see this kind of stuff.
You need to see the bones and the guts so that you can see the structural integrity and all of the wiring that's in place.
Now, you mentioned the seismic. Is that a big problem here in Medellín, or what does that look like?
I wouldn't say a problem, but it is something that you have to take into consideration. We do have, earthquakes here, and we are in a
earthquakes or tremors?
Earthquakes.
Earthquakes,
We do have earthquakes. We're actually in an intermediate zone earthquake. It's not high, it's not low end, but we do have a seismic code that's very similar to the code in the United States. It's based on the code in the United States, and it's very important to adhere to that code, to that seismic code.
Sure. So if the foundation are done right and it's built properly, shouldn't have any problems if an earthquake does happen, right?
No, not at all. I mean, it's designed to have minor movements. The lateral displacement is controlled by the seismic code. So it will have small movements, but all of the material, the finishes are supposed to withstand that. And if it's fragile materials.
So what do? You have like smaller slabs that have a little bit of move in them, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, mostly here in Colombia, we use concrete.
Yep.
So it's concrete columns, concrete beams, concrete slabs. And then on the finishes, since they're a little bit more fragile, you have to separate them. That's why you see this styrofoam. You have to separate the slab from the actual structure on the walls themselves. When you have brick, you have to separate the bricks from the actual concrete structure. So the structure is permitted certain displacements, which is natural.
Sure.
Just controlled.
Well, I imagine it also helps with settling a little bit as well, because I've been in some types of projects, you know, they do all this work, and then once it settles, you see these fractures or lines coming through, and then they need to come in and redo half of the stuff because the structure is too rigid.
Yeah, that's true. It has to be a ductile structure. It can't be super rigid. It has to have some flexibility. And it also helps because since it's such a large project and it takes a while to construct, the building itself is already settling down into the foundation.
Amazing.
So we have constant, like, we register how much the building is moving. It's millimeters, it's not much. But obviously during the construction, it'll settle down maybe like a 90% of what needs to settle. And then the last 10% is all the furniture and stuff.
Makes sense. Now, you mentioned water pressure before. Let's talk a little bit more about the pipes. Some places you go in Latin America, you can't, the pipes are very, very small. You can't put toilet paper down them. You have to be very careful using the washrooms and the piping. What does that look like in our development?
We don't have that problem here. A lot of projects where you can't flush toilet paper is because they have something that's like a septic tank.
Yep.
So you have all the water going into that septic tank that needs to be cleaned out so that you can use it again. This one is going right into the central line of Medellín. We're right in the heart of the city, so we shouldn't have any problem with that.
Yeah, because anytime you have something like that, if there's a problem, then you know it gets quite unpleasant quite quickly. To make it mild, to put it mildly. But I know it's a question that comes up often with our community, is that we want to make sure that all the pipes are done properly to a certain standard at a certain size, so that, you know, the wastewater is treated correctly, so that there's no odor, no problems like this. And then the water pressure, so that you can have, you know,
a nice shower,
which I am very much a fan of. I want a hot shower, and I want it like nice and strong, you know. And it's all these types of things that I think at the end it gives such a beautiful finished product, and have, you know, what we would consider like a US standard type of building or a Canadian standard building, not, having to give on all of these points, which makes a less of a guest experience. I'll keep coming back to this because that's what I'm very much focused on as an investor, is what I'm putting my money into. Is it going to retain value, and is it going to have a good guest experience so that people come back for not just a year or 5 years, but for the foreseeable future?
No, and I understand that. And this building is definitely taking into consideration not just traditional standards, which might be a little bit on the lower end if you consider, you know, international guests. It's considering international standards, international, you know, quality. And you were mentioning the shower. Some of the units actually have a large tub in the units themselves. So you'll be able to also soak in a bathtub.
Well, you can actually soak in a bathtub here, because in Panama, where I live, nobody's using a bathtub. It's 32 degrees out Celsius. You don't want to have a warm bath there. That's the opposite. Maybe a cold bath, I don't know.
You can have a cold room with AC and then have a hot bath.
Amazing, amazing. Anything else while we're in this room that we should know about the materials, the finishings, the construction? Anything else specific that you want to point out for people to really showcase the details of the project?
Well, if you want to take a look at the bathroom itself, you can see a little bit of, you know,
here's the bathroom as we were talking about.
The bathroom, in the tub. The view that you're gonna have. Mm-hmm. These are the window frames. You don't have the window installed yet, but the window frames, they're PVC windows, which is not customary in Colombia. Usually they're aluminum, which
Okay.
is lower quality.
Sure.
These are PVC acoustic windows.
Amazing, amazing. And it's a good size unit, my goodness. I mean, this is a very nice size for a hotel unit. So what's I don't know if you know off the top of your head, but how many square meters is this? Square meters or square feet?
400?
400 square feet.
400 square feet, yeah.
400 square feet. So around 40 square meters for the unit.
Yes.
That's a very good size. That's definitely above standard for a hotel, which is usually around 25, 27, I think is kind of a standard size for a hotel. So this is nice and spacious. Amazing. Well, let's continue our journey and see what's around the next corner. I'm joined with Santiago. He is another one of the project engineers here. Santiago, walk us through a little bit what is going to happen next, the timeline. This unit looks a little bit further along than some of the other stuff we've seen today. So walk us through, what are the next steps and how long it will take.
Okay, as you can see, I mean, we are going to start the finishes of the unit. The next step is that we have to cover all the seams and prepare the surface for the finishes. And we have to put the ceiling. After that, we are going to start with the tiling in bathrooms. And once we have the tiling, we are going to put the bathroom cabins. And then we are going to start.
So walk us through a timeline. This is going to happen
Okay.
in the next 1 to 2 weeks, 1 to 2 months. What does that look like?
Okay,
as a
I mean,
timeline?
the first step is that in the next week, we are going to put the glass. And the glass allow us to finish the interior.
to seal it so that
Yes, to avoid water and all the stuff. After that, we are going to start preparing the surface. That will take more or less, I will say 1 week.
okay.
1 week, and at the same time, we are going to start with the tiling in the bathrooms. That take like 15 days. That is
Wow.
it's more labor, so we have to do it.
Sure. The tiles are made here in Colombia? Or
Yes, Colombian tiles.
Colombian tiles.
And
Beautiful.
the labor are Colombian guys.
Amazing.
Yes. So after that, we are going to start the painting of the ceiling as well of the walls.
So is it a drop ceiling going to come down?
Yes, we
And
have.
so all the pipes and everything are hid up in the ceiling, which is very, very nice. And then the lighting fixtures, when does the lights come in?
Okay, the lights come after the carpentry, the wood carpentry.
Okay.
First, we have to install the whole, cabins. We have like a big built-in for the TV, closet, the bedrooms. The whole carpentry of the unit. And
So all the cabinets are, sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, yeah, no.
So no, just because I love all the little details.
Yeah,
For me, this is super interesting. I love your work. I think it's just so super cool. So with all the cabinetry, is it all built on site or is it built off site and brought in, or is it commercial and you're buying it and just installing it? What does that look like?
It's like a kind of mix.
Okay, like a hybrid.
Mostly they bring it like ready, but of course inside we have to do some things to
But is it
fix.
custom made or is it just from a showroom from
No.
IKEA and then dropped in here?
All the carpentry is custom made.
Custom. Amazing.
It's incredible, and they are like we have to be like preparing the carpentry like 2 or 3 months ago.
For sure.
And
So
then
everything's
all-
kind of stored at a warehouse right now
Yes.
and then ready to be installed on site.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. So after that, we proceed to install the lighting fixtures. And after that, we have to do some tests to check that everything is working. And we have one room finished.
Amazing. And the lights, what's the condensance of it? You're 3,000, 4,000?
3,000.
3,000?
We're working
Amazing.
3,000.
I hate 4,000, 5,600, 6,000. I hate these
Yes.
hospital white lights. I like more of on the yellow spectrum. It's so much more, I don't know, feels more at home when
Yes,
I walk in
more
at around
warm.
3,000. The warm
Yes,
feeling,
yes,
exactly.
I agree.
You start getting into 5, 6 and it's like, makes me feel like I'm in an institution or a government
sure.
building or a
Agree.
state education, type of white sanitary, horrible.
Yes.
So I'm glad to hear that. That's
Agree.
good.
That's good.
And the materials, you mentioned already about the tiles being
Okay.
Colombian. What about the wood for the cabinetry? What about for the lighting? Are these all made here in Colombia, the Colombian product, or what does that look like?
For example, the frame of the windows, they came from Germany.
Oh, wow,
Because
nice.
they're very special one.
Of course.
but all of the rest of the finishes came directly from Colombia. We are going to have PVC floor. All the wood that we are going to use, I mean, it's not really wood, it's like a agglomerated wood.
Sure, like
Yes,
composite. Yeah.
a composite wood.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything is made here. Some of the components of those is we're going to import it, but all the fixing and everything is going to be here in Colombia and Colombian producers.
Yeah, and I assume all the bricks are made here in Colombia. And
All the
everything like
bricks are from Medellín earth.
that. Yeah.
And yes, everything is very artisanal. I mean,
That's fantastic. Yeah, I really like to see projects where a lot of the materials are done from the surrounding area, because that means if there is a problem with the brick, they know where to go and get more of that brick, and it's going to match the facade of everything else. If the wood is from this area, then the costs are going to be much lower on these things. If everything has to be imported, like I understand,
Yes.
okay, Italian marble and this from here and from all over. It sounds really nice, but really what ends up happening is you're jacking the prices up on a lot of these things, because there can be duties of bringing goods in that add to the expenses of the building. But in a Colombia, with a country of this size that produces so much of its own goods, you can get really, really quality stuff here locally. So it's like, use the locals. And if you guys don't do the window panels, but Germany does it, okay, cherry pick that one good thing. But the bulk of it, I like to see local materials, which also, for me, is good because I want to support the local economy. I want the people who are making the bricks. Those are men and women who can support their family now because we're shopping locally. The woods, the windows, all of these things, if we can support the local economy, I think that's a way of driving the economics of the place and giving back. You don't have to give back to a country by charity or by giving away to a nonprofit. You can support an economy by employing people. For me, this is number one. It's a value exchange. So I'm super happy to hear, how the materials are sourced here. I think it's very good.
And in this time we have around 150 direct person working here.
Wow, on this site,
On the
150.
site, 150.
It's 150 families that now get to support their kids, feed them, take care of them because of the awesome project that we're doing as investors in this country. It's like, you guys should feel super proud about that. I definitely do. I mean, I'm an investor in this project. I put my own money in this project. I'm here to look at my investment and to check on the investment for our community. And I'm really happy with what I hear with all of this. So you're doing really fantastic work. So I'm glad to hear all these details, because, I'm putting these guys through the ringer. Well, what about this? What about that? What about this? And, and if I don't like something, I'll be vocal about it. But I mean, everything you're saying really falls in line with our value system. So that's really good.
Thank you.
So a room like this, you mentioned that probably within the next week, we'll be doing the windows. A week after that, you'll start the tiling. That's going to take about 15 days. You're going to start putting in the ceilings and the cabinetry and then the lights. Ballpark, what would it take timeline-wise to finish a room, or at least get it to say 90 some odd % done?
We will set 1 month.
Yep.
But while we are working in this room, we are working in the whole second floor.
For sure.
So 1 month more or less to have this floor, and then we go to the third floor.
Wow.
And it's like a process. So for sure, this floor is going to be the first that we are going to finish, and then we move to the other one. The idea is to bring everything complete, and then we can pass to the other floor.
Amazing. Now, when the project opens, are you going to do tower by tower? Is it going to have a delayed opening structure, or what does that look like?
No, we're going to open in the whole
All at
front.
once. Wow, wow.
Yes.
That's a lot of moving pieces to come together
Yes.
for one date. Well, the exciting thing will be, I believe my community will be the first guests to stay
Yes.
here. So I'll see you back here in 6 months, and this whole place will be transformed.
For sure.
And we're going to be like the beta run here. And, if you guys are open and receptive to feedback, we'll be able to say, hey, here's some small things that we noticed, or take a look at that. We're a very
That is
good
amazing,
community.
yes.
So we have a vested interest in seeing this place as a huge success. So we want to be able to be involved and give back. And, that's why I'm bringing my people to stay here, not at the Marriott or not at some other place. I want to stay on site.
That's very good. And that is the idea at the end.
Cool. Thank you very much, Santiago.
Okay.
Okay, I am now up here on the 4th floor, and I thought we'd just pause just for 10 seconds to kind of show you guys the framing that they're doing on this level, because the lower levels is where we've seen a lot more of the more finished product. And as they were saying, they're starting at the base level, the 2nd floor, and working their way up. So now we're up on the 4th floor. You can kind of see how the framing, how the overall layout looks, and before any of the windows, before any of the walls are put in. So I thought it was kind of cool to kind of show you the different stages of this development and what it looks like. But next, I want to take you guys up to the rooftop, and I'm going to ask Juan Dario to join me because I want to get some orientation and relate where we are in this development to the surrounding community and why this area is so special. So let's go upstairs and have a conversation with Juan Dario.
This is super exciting because Manila, the neighborhood in which we are, in which this project is located, is the heart of El Poblado. And that's not a minor thing. El Poblado is Medellin's most touristic neighborhood. Medellín is Colombia's most touristic city. And Colombia is South America's most touristic country. This is the center of it all. A very, very centric location, full of restaurants, full of shops. We have antiques, we have souvenirs, we have restaurants, we have entertainment shops of all different types. Further down, hospitals and shopping centers. 10, 12-minute walks. We have office space by the thousands of offices, which is critical because, of course, this is thousands of people that are going to come and consume in our different venues within the project. There's also the metro station, which is awesome because that allows people who are going to work for us to transport themselves very conveniently, and that implies we're going to get the best workers that we can. There's a hospital next door. There's the main police station of El Poblado just neighboring us. There's also the Avenida El Poblado, which is Medellin's main artery for transportation. It's basically where everything coincides. This is the best location that we can go for.
I hope you guys have enjoyed the construction update and all of the tours. We brought in the engineers. We wanted to show everybody what's going on in this project. This is a development that my clients invested in over 2 years ago. I wanted to be able to come and show you guys all the amazing progress. Now, I guess my final question, Juan Dario, is if someone's looking at this project and they're so excited and so pumped up about what they see, just like I am, and they wanted to invest here, what do you have to say to them?
So the answer to that is no. Unfortunately, you can't invest here. This is sold out. It's been sold out for months, since last year, actually. So the vision that you guys had 2 years ago, that was the moment to engage. But hey, this is the one project. We're gonna do some more. And then what we had 2 years ago, we're gonna replicate that in the next one. So stay tuned for what's coming up.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you showing us the project. We're so excited. I'm so excited to be an investor and to see where my money is going in all of this. But I'm just so impressed, just so massively impressed with Medellin and the work that you guys are doing, and just so grateful to be working with you. So thank you very much, my friend.
Our pleasure.
And let's continue our day, okay?
Let's go. Let's go.